So you just died in Modern Warfare Zombies. Or more likely, you got disconnected and lost all your stuff. Well, you're in luck, because today I'm gonna show you how to go from 0 to hero in just one game. Let's not waste any more time. Well, isn't this one of the luckiest spawns we could have for a 0 to hero run? We are here at the top, very top of pop-off power in this tier 1 area, and this is very important. It's not a necessity, but it's really nice if you can do this little side Easter egg for some free death perception, because death perception can really help you get on your feet a little bit faster. All you gotta do is jump off of here or somewhere high enough, it doesn't matter where you jump off of. So long as you go through these 3 rings without touching the ground, you should get a free death perception. Just like that, we have a free death perception. With that out of the way, we need to think about why we're here doing a 0 to hero run, and what should we prioritize. A lot of people like to go after perks and pack-a-punch because that's what Zombies is traditionally like. However, this being Modern Warfare Zombies, the things that matter, at least in a 0 to hero run to me, are things that you can exfil with that will help you out the next game. Large rucksacks, 3-plate vests, that sort of thing. And so those are the type of things we've got to focus on. And luckily, those are pretty easy to find. For example, there is a guaranteed 2-plate armor vest in mercenary camps. And as you can see, we've got some company here. Now, luckily, these guys took out the camp for us, but we'll see if they actually looted all of the stashes too. It looks like they did. That is unfortunate. That was the closest one nearby. Now, you might notice there's this tombstone with a lot of good stuff in it right now, but I'm going to be honorable and not take anything from there. I think I took some armor plates, but I want to do this legitimately here. So we're going to look for the next camp up the road. Awesome. And then we can fight these guys. Oh, what am I using? I guess that is worth noting. I did decide to go with a random contraband weapon that I had. Weapons aren't too scarce to come by, especially here in Modern Warfare Zombies compared to like DMZ. But let's see, you don't even need to complete the camp to go into this cache here. Okay, we got a 2-plate. And we got a mercenary stronghold keycard. That is very important. And then I'm actually going to look for, oh, here's a Cronin Squall here. I like this one a lot more. And maybe an MX9. I'll take that for sure. Once we have this mercenary keycard and a 2-plate vest, we're going to be looking for a mercenary stronghold, which should be back up the mountain. As you're progressing, feel free to loot up certain things if you want to take certain items and whatnot. Although I really don't emphasize this much. These little ATVs are super fast. So if you ever see them and need to travel a long distance, be sure to take them. Now these strongholds are going to be kind of annoying when you first do them. You have to unlock it and it's going to spawn them in. It usually spawns in a guy right away, a shield guy right in front. You try to shoot his little arms as best you can, but feel free to run away from him because he usually gives you a lot of trouble here. If you have like a Simtex or something, he goes down really quickly, but I for some reason put on throwing knives. So with death perception, you can clearly see it is significantly easier to get these guys. You can see them through walls. Oh, we've got company here. But along with these strongholds, they are going to drop in, as you probably saw, a helicopter's worth of mercenaries here. It's not too bad, but it's just something to be aware of, especially with death perception. It's really not that bad at all. Oh, and look at that, a medium rucksack, cool. These chests here, always open those large merc caches, very worth it. We got a teammate here doing this. Look at that large merc cache. Hey, look at that. There's a kill streak. That, another medium rucksack. Very good. We're going to come in here, stronghold clear. We'll open this up. We've got napalm burst, a symbol monkey. That's great. But this is what we're after. And I hope this guy doesn't need a 3-plate here because I need a 3-plate here. See, this is a good example. You could pick up these comic books and on the nearest, in the nearest buy station, you can sell those for points and you can use those points to get perks and pack-a-punch and more items that we're going to need to buy. But once we loot this safe, you can see that guy looted that safe. There's going to be just one and only one little group of mercenaries that are going to drop down here. But they usually come up single file, so it's really easy to take them all out if you've got the high ground here. Not too big of a deal. The safe in these mercenary strongholds are usually found on the 2nd floor, and they're pretty obvious right here, and there's usually a little audio log too if you want. But once this safe is opened, you can clearly see there is a 3-plate vest, and there's a medium rucksack, as well as the Legacy Fortress key card that you need for the Legacy Fortress, but we won't worry about that now. Oh, you know what? I just noticed I got all of my points from my tombstone. So what we're going to do, like I said, we're going to be the honorable ones here, and we're going to drop all of that essence because that is a very unfair thing to go off of. Okay, cool. But now we are going to focus on a little bit of contracts here to gain up essence, to gain up points. But I guess that's a good example of how Tombstone works, because I died in the previous game and I died in the previous video if you hadn't seen yet. If you have the Tombstone perk, it will save your backpack and it'll save your points. So we're going to do a quick spore control contract here. Not only is completing contracts going to get you points, but it's also going to get you rewards like perks, self-revives, and, ammo mods, pack-a-punch crystals, all the good stuff. Killing zombies will get you points, but not as much as completing contracts. Gonna go to the buy station real quick here, sell all of my things. Now, one thing I am gonna do is I'm gonna spin the mystery box, because as you can see, the color on my weapon is gray as well as gray. Those mercenaries only have gray weapons, but usually the mystery box will get you a higher rarity weapon, and we got a Lockwood that's green, which is awesome. And because I'm a gambler, I'm gonna go again and see if we can't get a bullet weapon here. And there's a Polymute that's also green. Now, if you don't want to roll the dice on the mystery box, there is definitely wall weapons here. You can see this is also green for just 750 points. And the fun thing about the mystery box is that the later in the match it gets, the rarer the guns become. So towards the end of the match, you can pull out legendary and epic weapons all the time. Yeah, the Lockwood without the slug attachment, not really impressed. That's why I got this. It's gonna be a lot more effective. Look at that. And it's got a lot more rounds there too. Oh no, die, get out of here. Okay, cool. Yep, we're good. There's another death perception can. That's really nice. And also, I should mention, if you ever find these weapon lockers, these actually have quite a good few weapons here too. I'm going to take this Hurricane out. Honestly, I've heard good things about this, and I might just do this Lockman 762. It might just be, well, it might just be a little bit more mobile than that LMG was. So if you're playing solo, the first contract that you complete will actually guarantee you a self-revive. Oh, and there's a gas mask. How lucky are we? So I wouldn't worry too much about a self-revive, and if you are worried, then pick the easiest contract that you know you can complete, and then just do it solo. And if you're looking for a weapon, and if you're not getting lucky with anything that you like anywhere else, or if you don't want to spend the points to spin the mystery box, doing these raid weapon stashes will give you weapons from the stashes. And of course, looting, you can just find weapons like we did. For example, there's a longbow, there's a sniper rifle, look at that, but it's blue rarity, so that's pretty nice. I don't think I'm gonna stick with it because it's a sniper rifle and I despise sniper rifles in zombies, but the longbow's not a bad one. And these raid weapon stashes are really easy to complete. All right, let's see what we got. We got a green ether tool, which is really nice. And then we've got a bunch of launchers, which is not good. While I was waiting for that, I was looting around and found an encrypted hard drive, so that got us a bonus 400 points. And we've got nearly 10,000 points already, which is pretty good. On to the next contract. Decoys are always really beneficial, especially in the higher tiers. They will distract all of the zombies, so don't be afraid to use them, even in tier 1 when you don't have all of the things that you like. Oh my goodness, just an ammo mod, yikes. Now, contracts are all well and good. However, in tier 1, they are only worth 2,000 points each. So when possible, definitely try thinking about going to tier 2. In tier 2, the contracts are worth 3,000 points, so definitely a lot more efficient. However, being in this area, I wanted to show you something really special. This area is fantastic for loot. Not only will we pick up this delivery cargo contract, but this room specifically has a lot of good loot, but it looks like it's already been scavenged here. Yeah, unfortunately, but there is a medium rucksack here. There's usually like a medium rucksack, a 3-plate vest, or at least something good here, but it looks like it was all taken away. But you can look at these med kits for stuff. You can look down in this locker for good things too. Look at that. That's a blue Stormender. Why would anybody pick that here? We've got this guy that nobody's been opened. That's a turret circuit. We might actually take that, but we didn't get anything, which is perfectly fine. Like I said, we're not going after the traditional things for zombies. We're not going after pack-a-punch. We're not looking at the legendary ether tools or whatever. We're just focusing on getting enough points so that way, if we don't find anything in this game, we can go to a tier 3 buy station and buy it straight up. And we got Juggernog, which is really good, and Brain Rot, which is also nice. Now, seeing as we do plan on going to tier 3, it would be wise of us to look for stamina. Now, I did manage to find stamina way over here, so I am gonna make my way over here in a vehicle, try to go as fast as I can because we are starting to slow down or run out of time here. And it is worth noting, once you get a handful of schematics, the 0 to hero stuff starts becoming really easy because you can bring in stamina up, you can bring in a legendary ether tool or a really strong weapon, and you don't need to worry about coming in with absolutely nothing. The progression of this game is actually really fun because it can be long-term progression. Also, pro tip, if you need to get anywhere fast, always look for these cranes or anywhere that you can get up high, so that way you can jump off, parachute, and move a lot faster. There's a lot of things that you're gonna wanna do. You're gonna wanna shoot that little orb there because it has ether tools in it. You're gonna wanna do all these other side things, but if you really want a 0 to hero with the large rucksack and the durable gas mask, then you really want to focus your time. You only got 45 minutes. Ooh, we got a raw Ethereum crystal and Deadshot. I am going to take Deadshot now. And there's something really important we need to really think about here and think about the timing of everything. Now, if you are somebody who doesn't have a lot of Pack-a-Punch crystals or schematics in your stash saved up, you might want to take this Pack-a-Punch crystal so that way you feel a little bit safer in tier 3. Like that's what I'm going to do right now. But don't be afraid to save those powerful things for the next game. But for us, that's a free 5,000 points that we can use to maneuver tier 2 a little bit easier. And if you hadn't already noticed, these delivery cargo contracts are the fastest. And there's a very lucky double Pack-a-Punch crystal right there. That is insanely rare. But now, believe it or not, I think we're ready for tier 3. I think we've got enough points. This is probably going to be the most nerve-wracking thing about your run. But don't worry, the more you do it, the better you'll be at it. So in tier 3, you're not going to be able to do what we're doing right here. You're not going to be able to be killing zombies, especially with a green PAP 1 weapon here. So the main strategy is going to be running away and training the zombies, much like zombies of yesteryear. So in order to do that the most effectively, you're going to want to open up your stash and drop your second weapon and run with your fists out. Next, before you go anywhere, ooh, there's an ether terror right there. Okay, so we're going to go up there, but before you do anything, you're going to want to locate the buy station that you want to use. There's one right here and one right here. You can plan your route of attack. I think we're gonna fly with this ether tear all the way into here. We're gonna throw a decoy grenade or two. We're gonna buy all of the things, and then we are going to escape through this road here or just flying off the side there somewhere. With that being said, I would highly recommend using decoy grenades and even ether shroud. Usually my go-to is energy mine, but ether shroud is great for when you're going into tier 3 and you just need a couple seconds for zombies not to look at you, but use whatever you're most comfortable with. Those would just be my 2 recommendations. And remember, you've got a self-revive here, so if you go down, it's not the end of the world. You kind of want to come into this good angle of attack here. Maybe you want to land on a ceiling, but you can see if you don't make any noise, zombies usually aren't around, so you can just sit here. And what do you know? Go into the gear. Down here, right here is going to be a durable gas mask. And here's a large rucksack, just like that. And look at that. We're all good. It's all quiet. We're in the middle of tier 3 with the green weapon, and we're all fine. Look at all the stash spaces we got now. Now, if you wanted to grind out a little bit more contracts, you would go down here, you'd buy a Juggernaut or Kill Streak or something like that. But Kill Streak, not the most important thing in the world here. But as you can see, my weapon sure isn't doing anything, and there's a Mega Abomination. So here's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna run away. Now, if you want to run away faster, you pull out a kill streak and you can run really fast. And don't forget, as you're running, to slide. That is a very important part too. You can see the zombies are not even close to me now because of how fast I'm running. Now the zombies will chase you out of tier 3 for quite some time, but in order to get rid of them, you just put away your kill streak and throw away a decoy, so that way they will stop following you. Oh, see, there you go. And he's not following me anymore. So cool, and you're out of there scot-free. And here we are back in tier 1, and look at how good this weapon is. We got it Pack-a-Punched, we got it green ether tool, and we've got 4 minutes to spare. So like I said, if you want to grind out more contracts for a better kill streak or just better loot, you want to see what loot you can get from tier 2, maybe some epic ether tools or some rare ether tools even. Looking at our stuff right now, we've got a kill streak, we've got a durable gas mask, we've got a self-revive, a large rucksack, and a 3-plate vest. Now, as you start learning the loot spots, as you start learning where to go to find the best loot and what contracts you like to do really quickly, you can start really heavily optimizing this run. This was not an optimized run by any stretch of the imagination. The cool thing about this, about Modern Warfare Zombies, is that it is such a big, wide open sandbox that there's really not a wrong answer. For example, we just find Elemental Pop just sitting on a crate right there. Isn't that crazy? I did also forget to mention that the throwing knives one-shot the zombies even in tier 3. That is, unless they have armor, in which case you'll need to throw one to break the armor and then one to actually kill the zombie. But that is why I put on throwing knives. With that said, I did die last game, and I am very happy to get my legendary ether tool back. And we can pretend, oh my goodness, like we got speed cola this run. And then all you got to do is survive an exfil. I know what you're thinking. You're taking a look at my points and you're going, Donuts, what the heck is going on with your points? I have no idea. There's something weird that happens when you get points from a tombstone. It like really messes up your points somehow. Even if you get points dropped from someone else's tombstone, it still kind of goes crazy. If you open up your stash here, you can see the actual essence that you currently have. So I still only have about 4,000 essence. So of course we didn't go to the dark ether here. We didn't grind tier 3 contracts in this game, but really when you're going 0 to hero and you don't have anything to start with, if you don't have any schematics or anything, really that's not your biggest concern. Your biggest concern is getting the tools you need to be more successful in your next run. And then you can string together, what the heck? What's this? What are we going to the dark ether for? What the heck? I'm not even a part of a team. That's so bizarre. Anyway, and so now after that run, apart from my speed cola and my legendary ether tool, we legitimately just found an elemental pop, this ammo mod, a double pack-a-punch crystal, a green ether tool, and a death perception can. So if you have no schematics, you're already going in with a strong weapon, double pack-a-punch, which you can immediately go into tier 2, get more points to get more perks, so that way you might be able to go into tier 3 early in one game. It's a snowball effect, and now hopefully you will have your insured slot that's probably cooled down by now, and you don't need to worry about your backpack or your 3-plate vest or your durable gas mask or self-revive, because it's all set up for you already. Don't bite off more than you can chew. This game, Modern Warfare Zombies, is meant to be played in sessions over and over and over again, consistently building up and keeping your resources up. That is until you get to the late game where you have all the good stuff, and then it's kind of like, well, why would you go back in there? But anyway, that's besides the point. And take the time to do this 0 to hero run with all of the operators you can. That way, if you do die with this operator, you've got a fallback operator to keep going. And I know you guys are all curious of why I had that tombstone in the first place. Well, if you want to see how I died, I caught it on camera, and you can check it out right here. Enjoy and stay beautiful.